I work at a crisis nursery, a place that provides emergency and respite care for children under the age of 7. I used to work the graveyard shift all the time. Let me say this up front. I am a total non-believer in the paranormal, at all. But I'll admit, at 2 in the morning, in a dark room, with only a couple of other young women as the only adults in the building, things can get really creepy. Our nursery is named after a child who was tragically beaten to death by one of their parents. It was started in their memory to prevent other children from meeting a similar fate at the hands of stressed-out caregivers. There's a chilling tale that this child's spirit haunts the nursery, mostly active at night. I heard this on one of my first grave shifts and thought, sure, scare the newbie. That stuff doesn't bother me. Later that night, one of the kids got up to use the bathroom. A coworker helped the child back to bed and returned to where we were all sitting. Pretty soon, we heard the water running in the bathroom again. Someone went to check it out. Yep, the water was running. My coworker swore up and down that it was off when she left with the kid. It was kind of weird, but I thought they were just trying to scare me. They then told me that many different people had reported children asking about that kid, saying things like, "Why doesn't that kid have to go to bed?" while pointing at nothing. I brushed it off and basically forgot about it. A few weeks later, I was alone in the sleep room where all the kids were sleeping. I was just chilling, reading a book with a book light. The rest of the room was pitch black and silent. Suddenly, one of the kids, probably about 4 or 5 years old, sat bolt upright in bed and said, "Hey, how come they aren't asleep? Why do they get to play? I want to play too," while pointing at a wall with no kids anywhere nearby. Instant crazy shivers ran all over me. I was so scared I almost screamed. From that moment on, I refused to be alone in that room. I used to be a doorman and concierge at a condo in Midtown Manhattan. One night, around 2 a.m., I got a call on the desk phone. A man, sounding frantic, told me that someone in my building was standing in front of their window with the lights on, doing something inappropriate. He was worried because his daughter's bedroom had a clear view of it. I asked him which floor it was on and assured him that there wasn't much I could do since people are free to do what they want in their own property. I suggested he close his blinds. Then it hit me. The apartment he described was supposed to be vacant. A chill ran down my spine. I was 19 at the time, and my mind raced with horrible possibilities. Could a stranger have sneaked into the building and started squatting in an empty condo? I grabbed my pocket knife and, instead of taking the elevator, I took the emergency staircase up 3 stories to avoid alerting anyone of my presence. When I reached the 3rd floor, I noticed the elevator was still on the lobby floor where I had left it. Slowly, I approached the supposedly vacant apartment door. The knob was locked, and I cautiously inserted the key, trying to make as little noise as possible. I opened the door and saw that all the lights were off, except for a light coming from the room where the man had described seeing the figure. My heart pounded in my chest. I had to remind myself that I lived in a physical universe and that it was impossible for the person to know I was there. I had been incredibly quiet. I took off my shoes before stepping onto the hardwood floor. In my socks, holding only my shoes and a small pocket knife, I started toward the bedroom. The floor was wet, as if someone had just exited the shower. Someone was definitely here. I gently placed my hand on the bedroom door, debating whether to open it slowly or burst in. I made my decision. I burst into the room. I saw nothing. Quickly, I scanned the room, checked the closet, and looked under the bed. Nothing. The room was furnished because it was used as a showroom for open houses. I found nothing. I was utterly confused and started to freak out. Someone had been here and now they were gone. Where could they be? I put my shoes back on, turned on all the lights in the apartment, and did a full sweep. I found nothing. As I began to exit the apartment, One night, I was working the late shift at a gas station, just like countless times before. Except this time, something felt different. There was an especially eerie atmosphere in the air, and then he walked in. He stood in front of the counter, slumped over and breathing in ragged, shallow breaths. His clothes were filthy, covered in unidentifiable stains, and his head was bald except for a few scraggly, greasy hairs. His long coat spanned the entire width of his rat-like frame as he stayed motionless in front of me, staring. "Can I help you?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He didn't respond right away, just kept staring with those hollow, unsettling eyes. Finally, he pointed to a pack of cigarettes on the wall behind me, almost as if it was an afterthought. I turned to grab the cigarettes, my heart pounding. When I turned back around, he had straightened up, and there was a sinister expression on his face. He leaned in closer, peering at my name badge. "I like your name," he said in a low, raspy voice. "Thank you," I replied, trying to maintain a professional tone despite the creeping fear. I scanned the cigarettes and handed them to him. "Have a nice night," I said, hoping he'd leave, but he didn't move. He just stood there, staring. Then, with an unnervingly wide grin, he said, "I've never had a insert your name before. I'd like to have one." My blood ran cold. His words hung in the air, heavy and menacing. He reached an arm over the counter, and panic surged through me. I stepped back quickly, my mind racing. "My coworker is in the back room," I shouted, my voice trembling but loud. I yelled a random male name, hoping it would be enough to scare him off. To my relief, it worked. He recoiled, his grin faltering, and he hurried out of the store. I watched him go, my heart still pounding, wondering what he had meant and what might have happened if I hadn't acted quickly.
Hey, hope you like this video. If yes, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It would help us a lot. Also, if you have any of your personal incident, then you can share it with us on the mentioned Gmail account in description. And with that said, we will meet you in the next spooky video. Till then, peace out.